He poured champagne over her wedding dress after she begged him not to. The entire reception watched their marriage crumble in real time. Have you ever witnessed the exact moment a marriage was doomed? I attended a wedding last summer that wasn't just uncomfortable per se, it was a masterclass in how to destroy a relationship in under 3 minutes. Madison and Tyler were college sweethearts who'd been together for 5 years before their big day. She was 24, he was 25, and everyone thought they were perfect together, pairing the kind of couple that finishes each other's sentences and posts those sickeningly cute anniversary photos. I was invited through work connections with Madison, and from the ceremony through cocktail hour everything seemed picture perfect. The historic stone chapel, the garden reception under twinkling lights, her custom gown that she'd mentioned cost nearly as much as her car pier. It was all straight out of a bridal magazine during dinner. I overheard Madison telling her maid of honor about the champagne toast. I specifically told Tyler 3 times this week, parent, no champagne pouring. My dress is silk, my makeup took 2 hours, and my hair will be ruined. He promised. The maid of honor nodded. He knows better than to mess with you today of all days. When the toasting began, the wedding planner handed them crystal flutes engraved with their initials. Madison looked radiant as they linked arms for the traditional sip. The photographer moved in close, capturing what should have been a perfect moment. That's when Tyler's expression changed. I can only describe it as a fraternity boy smirk pern. The look of someone about to do something they think is hilarious despite being told explicitly not to. Madison must have recognized it too, because her eyes widened. Tyler, don't, she started to say. Too late, he tipped his glass over her head, emptying nearly the entire flute of champagne directly onto her hair, face, and down the front of her dress. The liquid immediately soaked through the silk, creating dark patches across the bodice. The room went silent. Even the photographer stopped clicking. For 3 excruciating seconds, Madison stood frozen, champagne dripping from her eyelashes. Then she looked down at her ruined dress, up at her grinning husband, and something visibly broke behind her eyes. You absolute asshole, she shouted, her voice echoing through the reception hall. I Dermbole Rice Betty asked you not to do that. This dress cost $7,000. Babe, it's just a tradition. I don't carve. I told you no. Her voice cracked as tears mixed with the champagne on her face. This was the one thing I asked you not to do today. She threw her glass down, it didn't break, just bounced awkwardly on the carpet turn and stormed toward the bridal suite. Her 3 bridesmaids immediately followed along with her mother, who shot Tyler a look that could have frozen hell. Tyler tried to follow, but Madison's father stepped in front of him with a hand on his chest. Give her space, I heard him say in a low voice. What followed was the most uncomfortable hour of any wedding I've ever attended. Tyler sat alone at the head table, occasionally trying to laugh it off with his groomsmen, who were clearly avoiding eye contact. The DJ awkwardly played background music. Guests whispered at their tables. The wedding planner looked like she was contemplating a career change. After 45 minutes, Madison's mother emerged from the bridal suite and pulled Tyler aside. Their conversation was intense but hushed. He nodded repeatedly, looking increasingly distressed when Madison finally returned. Her dress had been somewhat salvaged, though the stain was still visible. Her makeup had been redone, but her eyes were swollen from crying. The reception continued with their first dance, which was so stiff and formal it looked like 2 strangers had been forced to dance together. During the father-daughter dance, I overheard Madison's dad say to her, "It's not too late, you know. Nothing's been filed yet." She just shook her head and whispered back, "Not here, Dad, please." The couple left separately, parent she with her parents, he with his groomsmen. The next morning, Madison posted a single line on social media. Sometimes the red flags look like decorations when you are wearing rose-colored glasses. 8 months later, Madison announced her divorce. The reason cited in her filing, according to a mutual friend, fundamental disrespect and inability to honor boundaries. I later learned that the champagne incident wasn't isolated. It was just a joke, or you are being too sensitive. The wedding simply made visible what had been happening behind closed doors for years, pairing a pattern where one person's boundaries meant nothing to the other. Sometimes it's not just champagne that gets spilled at a wedding. Sometimes it's the truth about the relationship itself.